What's up? So I got a chance last weekend while I was out in California doing some work stuff to get in and drop in with Mark Bell at Super Training. Got some squats, and the other thing we talked about is using knee wraps. I'm not a competitive powerlifter anymore, and I really like using knee wraps in my training. I like using it the same way I use the slingshot, and so me and Mark shot a video on how to wrap your knees and a little bit better explanation of how to use them. So check that out. Click subscribe and enjoy. Got a chance to come out today to Super Training, work with Mark, and one of the things I've been utilizing in training is knee wraps, and I get a lot of questions about how to do that correctly, how you use it, and so I'm using it at the end of my workout to get some extra reps in with the same weight and put a little bit more strain on the muscles, get stronger.
Kind of using it a little bit like a slingshot, allowing him to handle a little bit more weight. You can do more reps, more sets, more weight. You're going to be able to handle more overall volume. The way that I suggest you utilize knee wraps, especially for someone who's not going to compete, somebody who's not going to step on a platform, is to kind of use it the way Matt's talking about. And I usually suggest that people just wrap themselves, and that way you get to learn how tight you want the wrap. You can wrap yourself a little tighter with each and every set that you do. When you're making your jumps, like if you started, say, like 500 pounds, you would wrap yourself medium. As you go up in weight, you'd wrap yourself a little tighter each set until you kind of can't handle it anymore.
Yeah.
But you also you don't want to get into a habit of wrapping yourself too tight all the time. We've seen it time and time again in here where it's been problematic for guys with their knees. So be a little cautious and be a little bit on the gentle side of your knee wraps. If you're preparing for a competition, that's a totally different story. You're going to have to wrap your knees. You're going to have to kind of grin and bear it for at least a couple of weeks leading into that competition, because you're going to have to really overload and push it. So I'm just going to do kind of a basic wrap on him first, and then we'll do a little bit more of a powerlifting style wrap second.
Awesome.
So he's just going to go there. I'm just going to use his pads, and I'll kill my own knee when I sit down. It's the foam of death here. But basically we just want to start at the bottom here. We're going to work our way up, and hopefully we can kind of cast it off at the end there. So we're just going to kind of go here. Some people like to go inward or outward. It's really kind of more of a preference thing. We got to just kind of start light and then go from there. In this case, we're wrapping in. And I like to pull the material from the back. If you try to pull across too much, and the person's not wearing stretchy pants like he's wearing, it's going to irritate the back of the knee. So you want to try to pull the material away. Knee wraps are going to be uncomfortable. There's really no way of them not being uncomfortable, but you want to try to make them so they're not too uncomfortable. As we're going up the knee, we're splitting the knee wrap, as you can see, almost in half with each revolution that we're doing here. So we're going to work our way up. We're going to catch a little bit of quad. Matt's a little quaddy, so it's going to be hard to get around too much of his quads because he's pretty jacked.
That's true.
But we want to try to start to catch the patella tendon again, which is this guy in here at the end, because that's going to need the most protection. And so we'll be able to close it off over here with my fat little fingers. You're going to want to pull away, and that's going to be quite uncomfortable as I start to push this through here. And now we've got a good sturdy wrap there. He's got enough pressure to the point where it's very hard for him to straighten his leg out.
Yeah, so the leg's pretty stiff. It's a good amount of support, but it's going to be more support than, say, a neoprene wrap or anything like that you're going to wear sleeve-wise. And so give you an idea of what I've got here. Like about there is about as much as I'm going to get. And again, this is a pretty light wrap. This would be something that I could possibly do to myself for training. And really it's just going to help me get some rebound, get out of the hole, help you get a couple extra reps and really put the work onto your legs. And that's what you're trying to do, is get stronger. So it's a tool to use. I mean, people are going to say, like, oh, it's not a real lift because you use knee wraps. Fine. Do what's doing best for you so you get stronger. Use some different tools. Try what works for you. Stay safe. I mean, better hit a couple reps at something you already did, put some wraps on, hit 10 reps instead of 3 or 5, and that's what helps you get stronger.
Right. Really the only difference, with a powerlifting style wrap Number one would be, we'd probably move into a stiffer wrap, which we also make a red wrap called a Little Bridge wrap. This is our slingshot knee wrap. It's a little bit stretchier, going to give you a little bit more rebound. But the main difference is just going to be how you roll this up. You're going to want to get all the tension out of this when you roll it up. And so this will take me a second here, but you want to pull this tight because every time we wrap around his leg, we need it to lay down flat each and every time. So we're using all the material. So basically all we're doing is we're just going to be able to wrap around his knee a lot more.
Get more layers since the material is going to be thinner, stretch out, get some more rebound out of the bottom.
More revolutions, more strongest.
And you can use your knee wrap in training just as knee support in general, just for, warm-up sets or anything like that. Wrap them really light and just have enough for support. I know I've got some tendonitis issues, and I'll even wrap really light over the compression cuff just for some extra support. There's no pride in getting hurt in training if you're a competitive athlete. So do what's smart and do what keeps you getting the work in so that you can be better on the field when it's time to go.
This is good for the forearm pump.
That's always actually what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
Everything's going to build in the biceps.
We're just trying to get the veins going. Big pecs, big checks.
It's just another trick. It's going to help you do what it needs to do. So try using some knee wraps. Add those to your training. Get some extra support. Stay safe. Keep kicking ass.
You can see that's a lot tighter. That's about
this is pretty loose. That one's pretty tight.
Boom.
That'd be the one you want. Always go tighter.